So you spoke out through town hall meetings. Had there been no freedom of speech, as Obama would like, through intimidation tactics, through the goon squads, through the fake environmental gangsters, had he had more power than he had, you would not have been permitted to speak. And the debate wouldn't have been permitted. It would have been a stooge-style debate, a Soviet-style debate, and there would have been no debate. It would have been fake. And they would have forced socialized medicine on America. So that's why freedom of speech is so important, which, again, goes to the core of this whole issue of banning Michael Savage in Britain, which is why I keep talking about it. Sure, it's about me, and sure, I want my name off the list, but sure, it's also the most important discussion that we can have this year, because without the First Amendment, you may as well say goodbye to all the others, to the Constitution. That's if you even know what they are. And I'm not going to read them to you. I have them right here on a chart. I don't need a blackboard and chalk because I actually was a professor. That I reserve for those who never went to past the 9th grade. They like to have chalk and blackboards. It makes them feel powerful and important. But let's go down to the next level here. Should I accept it, and what will they say to me? Period. End of story. Tom in Pennsylvania, welcome to the Savage Nation. Go ahead, please.
Hey, hello, Michael. I'm a 60-year-old United States Navy veteran who loves his country, and I love my freedom. But I'm also one of those gun-toting, Bible-reading mountain people. And as far as you accepting that Cambridge Union invite, absolutely. How can you even question? I mean, this is your opportunity.
Well, no. Well, that's the first thought I had was, wow, what an honor. The second wave of thoughts were, wait a minute. They're trying to set me up to look like a bad guy. And what are they going to do so? I don't really know.
I think you're coming at it all wrong, Michael. I sat around and thought about it myself.
Yeah.
You're fighting, you got to fight fire with these people. Now, their fire is humanism. That seems to be their whole political angle on how to get around people and how to get to people.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you, fight fire with fire, you're a humanist. You've always been. You've got millions of people listening to you out here, Michael. I mean, my God. But I say,
Well, I wouldn't call myself a humanist because it has connotations that I don't generally agree with. I would call myself more of a free thinker than I would call myself a humanist. I mean, I would like not to be pigeonholed as a humanist because there's a limitation within that definition. Don't you think?
But as I believe, I also agree with you on that. But you're not accepting that as your platform. This is your fire against their fire. You have to fight them on their ground, and that's what they seem to be coming at everything.
Well, I agree with you. And those who have found ugly meanings in beautiful words are corrupt without being charming. And many, many of these left-wingers have tried to put ugly meanings in my beautiful words. In other words, my beautiful words of a nation being defined by borders, language, and culture was actually cited in the correspondence that we've uncovered through the Freedom of Information Act as a reason to ban me from England, because I speak for nationalists in America and nationalists in Britain who believe in their nation's sovereignty, who believe in borders, language, and culture. They have found that to be an ugly thing. Can you believe this?
As far as this political correctness, it's Marxist and it's illogical. It doesn't work in a free society.
Well, we know where it ends up. It ends up with Nazi Germany or the Soviet Union. I mean, any student of history knows where it ends up. Tom, I'm sending you a free copy of Banned in Britain. You're going to have this collector's item going out to you when it's ready, and it's going to be probably 8 weeks from now. 1-800-449-8255, michaelsavage.com. Questions to you. Should I accept the offer, and what will they throw at me to trip me up? The debate goes to you, the Savage Nation. Back in a moment.
Savage. On the air, online, and on the go. This is Talk 910 KNEW.
Mad dogs and Englishmen go out in the midday sun. The Japanese don't care to. The Chinese wouldn't dare to. Hindus and Argentines sleep firmly from 12 to 1. But Englishmen deter stars, siesta. In the Philippines, they have lovely screens.
All right. Well, you know the question, and you know the answers. And Deuteronomy had some statements about this. Something about God chose you. Not because you were more in number than any people, because you were fewest of all people. But because the Lord loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he swore unto your fathers, hath the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of bondage from the hand of Pharaoh king of Egypt. Know therefore that the Lord thy God, he is God, the faithful God, who keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him, and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations, and repayeth them that hate him to their face, to destroy them. He will not be slack to him that hateth him, he will repay him to his face. Thou shalt therefore keep the commandment, and the statutes, and the ordinances which I command thee this day to do them. So to you it means nothing. To you it means nothing. To you, the Bible's a joke written by olive growers of the ancient Middle East who were deficient in niacin, had hallucinations in the desert about burning bushes and about a figure up in heaven. And you are an emerged man, a modern man. You don't believe in such things. You believe in nothing. And by believing in nothing, you have become nothing. But you think you are something even though you are nothing. And because you are nothing, you hate those who are something. Those of you who are truly nothing hate more so those who are really something. And you do everything in your power to tear down those who are something in order to make them nothing like yourself. In order to feel good about being nothing, you take those who are something and try to destroy them. Just as the Obamaites, who know in their heart they are corrupt, try to destroy everything that was built up to tear it down so they can feel equal to. You understand how it works? And so, therefore, this debate is much bigger than you may think. Savage told WND he will likely accept the challenge and debate via video. Quote, said Savage, those who would defend political correctness, i.e. speech control, should visit North Korea or Cuba for examples of a harmonious state, close quote, he said. The Cambridge Union Society, founded in 1815, has hosted the likes of British Prime Minister Winston Churchill and American Presidents Ronald Reagan and Theodore Roosevelt. There's no stopping him now, to quote a mayor of the city of San Francisco on a completely different subject. There's no stopping him now. Well, he wasn't invited to Cambridge Union. Although he of nothingness, with an empty soul, and the of nothingness of empty souls, have tried to condemn those of us with somethingness. There's no stopping us now. Now you have Obama. The first president in American history is going to force children to listen to a speech that he's going to give. Well, not exactly force them, but I'm sure any school that doesn't listen to his speech to school children. You see, no American president in history has ever addressed school children. It's a tradition of Hitler, of Raul and Fidel Castro. Every dictator usually addresses school children. Because you got to hand it to dictators. They see the future, that once they seize total power, they need a generation that loves them. Hitler had the Hitler Youth, and Obama would like to have the Obama Youth. Now, he can't create the Obama Youth Corps overnight, but he can certainly address the school children of America as a captive audience and sell them on fraudulent ideas such as global warming, health care for all, higher taxation for the pig rich, and things of that nature. And that's what happens in an emerging dictatorship, things of this nature. And that's why I oppose political correctness. It always leads to disaster. It always leads to slavery. Just as we are almost enslaved in this country, many of you are afraid to speak out at work. Many of you can't listen to my show. Many of you can't bring a book to work. Many of you can't bring an American flag to work. You think you're free? You are not free. You're a slave. You're already way beyond the freedoms that your father had. You don't have their freedoms. You're a prisoner. You're a slave in your own country. Why? Because you let the illegitimate carborundum you. That's a takeoff on non-carborundum illegitimi, or something to that effect. Don't let the illegitimates grind you down. You've been already half ground down. They're getting ready to go in for the kill now. So I have not yet been ground down. I don't know how. I don't know why. I keep going. The ever ready. The two hearts. I was given two hearts. I'm living for two men. I'm living for me, and I'm living for my brother who never lived.
Savage. The Savage Nation. Download the podcast at 910KNEW.com.
It is good to live in the greatest country on earth, even though we are facing extremely dangerous times with a nascent dictator emerging in the White House, surrounded by some very shady characters. It's still good to be an American. And Moses told the children of Israel, according to all that the Lord commanded Moses, the following. And Moses spoke unto the heads of the tribes of the children of Israel, and he said, This is the thing which the Lord hath commanded. When a man voweth a vow unto the Lord, or sweareth an oath to bind his soul with a bond, He shall not break his word. He shall do according to all that proceedeth out of his mouth. Now you understand why certain individuals despise the Bible and would like to burn it, why they mock it, why they take down the Ten Commandments, why they hate freedom of speech. It started with the Bible. It talks about things such as bonds and oaths and swearing and sticking to these things. And the Lord likes certain things done a certain way, and that's why they would like the Bible not only banned but burned. That's their idea of political correctness and freedom of speech. There are no Bibles in North Korea that I know of. Any Bibles in North Korea? Where there used to be Bibles in hotels in America, there's now on-demand pornography. And so we have a debased, degenerate, corrupt society. They don't even understand what freedom is. They think that pornography is freedom. They think that the ability to use drugs at all turn of the day, that's freedom.